Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and Inter Milan with a massive win against Torino as they put pressure on Napoli just before their game against Genoa. Inter win 2-0 away at Torino, and they are now level on points with Napoli. So let's go ahead and talk about this game. I mean, it was a really good game of football. Let's start from there. Especially after last week's abysmal game that Inter played, I think that tonight they were really good. It was a really good performance, and you can just sit back and you could just see the difference, and it sort of felt like the last week their concentration was not there. Their eyes were on that semi-final, for the Champions League semi-final against Barcelona, and them winning that game the way that they won, I think that brought a lot of confidence. And now the full that game, the final is now weeks away, the Champions League final. So now the full concentration, the full focus was on tonight's game and trying to get the win and trying to play good football, and that's what did. I mean, they were all over Torino in that entirety of that game. I think Torino played good football, but I think Inter were just 2 steps ahead of them throughout the entire game. And I mean, that goal from Zaleski, I mean, it was something really special. From that comes in from that right hand side, takes a shot, curls it away into the bottom corner. I mean, a beautiful goal. Gives an early advantage to Inter. Inside 12 or 13 minutes, it becomes a 1-0, and from there on it was Inter continuously attacking, continuously trying to score more goals. Torino themselves, like, they had really good chances. They continuously tried to come back into the game, but they were not really able to. I think one big chance they had before the first half, it was Shea Adams, and the goalkeeper made a great save. I think the Torino goalkeeper, for me, that was the man of the match, even though Inter won the game, I think. And even though he gave away the penalty in that second half, but he made sure that it was a respectable 2-0 win, 2-0 loss for Torino, because if not for him, if not for Milinkovic-Savic, I think this game could have easily been a 4-0, 5-0 win for Inter. That's how good they were, and that just shows where the difference in mindset sometimes the team goes. Last week you watched their game and you just knew that they were not really into it. They just wanted to get the job done, get a goal, and then just sit back and not risk anything about with any player, and they just wanted to get the job done, get the 3 points. They were not really bothered about that game. This week it was completely different. They wanted to play, they wanted to score, they wanted to put pressure on Inter. They wanted to see how dominant they are, because they were playing first, and in my opinion the tension of the Champions League was not there, and there were so many chances in game. I mean, DiMarco came close, Changulo came close, Aslani scored at the penalty game, but still he came close. Correa 2-3 times he came close. So as Dumfries came close. All of them tested the goalkeeper, tried to score the goal. Some of them went wide, but most of them, their shots were on target. And that was, I said, Milinkovic-Savic, he had an amazing game. To make sure that Torino don't end up in an embarrassing way, in an embarrassing moment in this game. And I think he had a wonderful game. Inzaghi again showing how much of a good manager is. He can if he wants to sit back, he can make sure that his team sit back, and the team responds to him in a very good way. He can tweak the system whenever he wants, and he showed that in the Champions League game as well, and now today as well. They wanted to play attacking football. They were really they were easily able to play attacking football. They had the possession as well. When they did not have the ball, off the ball, I think they were really good as well today. Torino were nowhere near them. I mean, they had like a couple of good chances. Apart from that, I think Torino were never in that game. Inter completely dominated that game, and they won that game, and I think they deserve to win that game. And now they just have to sit back, and they would hope that Genoa can do them a favor, and they can somehow take points off Napoli. Whether they win, whether they draw, that's going to be different, but they are going to hope that somehow Genoa are able to defeat Napoli in that game. And then now the pressure is going to be on Napoli. Let's be very honest, this is playing first is a big advantage when the stuff like this is going on. Even the last week Napoli won and Inter responded, and the gap was just 3 points. Now they are on level on points, and Napoli have to come out, and they cannot really afford to draw points, if I'm being very honest. Even if they draw, I think that's going to be a big blow to Napoli's title contender. This is the first time in a number of years where Napoli are really going for it for the title in the last 2 match days, so that the pressure is going to be on Napoli before the game starts. It will be very interesting in my opinion. So it is going to be we'll see what happens in that regard in that game. but for Inter a massive win, and they would hope that, as I said, they would hope that Genoa do them a favor, and then they can continue the way that they've played for the last 2 games. Now the thing is, for Inter, they are in a peculiar situation that they can do their job and then they have to rely on that. That is a very bad situation to be in. They would be cussing themselves. They would be so disappointed in themselves that they have brought themselves into this situation, because 2-3 weeks ago they were the ones with a 3-point advantage, and then they let it slip all out, and now they have they're trying to come back, but they need help from somewhere, and that is a very bad situation to be in. But they can only hope that they do their job and other people help them. And tonight they have done their job, and now they're going to sit back and they're going to watch that Napoli Genoa game. I assure you, the players, the managers, the fans, all of them are going to be watching that Napoli Genoa play game, and all of them are going to be hoping that Genoa do them a favor. I think that game is going to be really interesting. But for Torino in this game, as I said, they were not really in the game. They are not really playing for anything. Torino, the only thing that they can do is if try to win the game and try to finish in the top 10. But apart from that, I think they are not they're not in any fear of getting relegated. I think they are going to finish mid-table. That is done in the state. That is decided. It's just that which position they are going to finish. So they would hope that they can try to get into the top 10. I think that would be a good season for Torino. But if they continue to play like that, the way they did in the next 2 games, I think whoever comes up against them, they are going to defeat them, because today they were really poor. Inter were good. I'm not going to take anything away from Inter. I think they were spectacular. They were much better than last weekend when they played against Verona. But I think Torino themselves, they were really poor. They showed Inter too much respect, in my opinion, and Inter just ran around them, and they had their fun, and Torino were just not really able to counterattack, and that at this level, that is not really acceptable, in my opinion. But there are still 2 games to go. There's still a chance of them finishing the top 10, and they would hope they can somehow be they are somehow able to finish in the top 10, and in my opinion, that would be a really good season for Torino. That is it for me in this video. Let me know what you guys thought of the game, what you guys thought of Inter's performance, what you guys thought of Torino's performance. Do you think Inter are going to be able to catch Napoli with the help of others, or do you think the title is done? The thing is, it is still complicated, so nobody can really say anything, because of how the title has, the top position has changed throughout the season. So it is really complicated, but still, let me know what you guys think about the scenario with just 2 games to go. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of the season. As I said, there's 2-3 weeks remaining for the season to end. I still need about 30 plus subscribers, so please, by the time the season ends, go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out, and so that I can reach to 500 subscribers. And then of course it's going to be the Club World Cup, and it's not like that the season is going to end and I'm going to stop, but I would like it by the end of the first season that I have done, at least I have 500 subscribers. So please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.